As soon as the lecturer leaves the classroom, Michiru slumps forward onto her desk. We've only just gotten through 2 periods. Are you out of stamina already?
そんなの分かってるけど、座学の授業が続くとどうしてもこうなるのよ。それからさっち、シャーペンの芯がなくなっちゃったんだけど、返し持ってる？はい、どうぞ。ありがとう。そうそう、料理の時いつもここだけ使い道がなくて困るのよね。ってこれキャベツの芯じゃないの？何これって、日頃からシャーペンの芯とか消しゴムをサチから借りてる私へのいじめ？もしかして私、実はサチに嫌われてる？
That's quite the imaginative leap in logic there.
ほらサッチ、早く誤解を解いてあげないとチルチルが溶けてなくなっちゃうのよ。
あ、すみません。みちる様が欲しかったのはこちらですよね。
Sachi hands Michiru a new lead for her mechanical pencil.
もう頼むわよサチ。さすがの私もちょっとびっくりしちゃったじゃない。
飲みの心臓だものね。
失礼ね。いくらなんでもそこまで小さくないわよ。ハエと同じぐらいの肝っ玉は持ってるわよ。どうせ見栄を張るならもっとマシな生き物にしなさいよ。
なんなら試してみる？
いえ、本当に結構です。ごめんなさい。
Way to prove her right.
ねえねえサッチ、わしには負け組葉っぱちょうだい。
ルーズリーフのことだよね。はい、どうぞマキちゃん。
グラッチグラッチ。ちゅい。
こらこらマキナ、教室で発情するの禁止。
邪魔が入ったようなのよさ。じゃあ続きはベッドの上で。
I'm willing to bet she saw some spy movie yesterday. But anyway, you've really got the work, Sachi.
何でもというのはどんなものでしょうか？
What?
やっぱりここって突っ込んだ方がいいの？どうだろうね。
You're a unique one.
ありがとうございます。しかもなんか褒められてるしねえ。
Let's see. Do you have a chisel on hand as well?
はい。
As soon as I request it, a chisel set emerges from the depths of her desk. How about a heavy-duty stapler that can handle dozens of sheets of paper at once? Standing from her desk, Sachi walks off to face a large locker in the back of the classroom. What's with that locker? It's twice the size of the others.
詰め込むものがたくさんあるさっちゃん専用ってやつ？それはこれのことでしょうか？
Within a few minutes, she finds the requested item and brings it to me. Normally, I'd expect to have to go to a stationery store to get something like this.
ちょっとユージ、あんた今頃何言ってるのよ。十徳ナイフより幸を持てっていうのがこのクラスでの常識よ。
Are you saying her karate chop cuts sharper than a folding blade?
そうじゃなくて、さっちゃんはそれだけ何でも用意できるってこと。
I see. Well, considering her apparent skill and devotion, I suppose she's well prepared to deal with most requests.
まあ、その格言が生まれたのにも理由があるわけだけど、あれは あまりの暑さで教室のクーラーも故障した。うだるような夏の日だったわ。今日は本格的に寒いわね。これじゃあセミの寿命も2割引きよ。
ねえねえチルチル、じゃあ今日のお昼は鍋にしようよ。鍋。こういう時こそ体も心もグツグツ煮えたぎるのよさ。
おお、マキナもたまにはいいこと言うじゃない。何あれ。
さあ、暑さのせいで湧いちゃったんでしょ。
湧いちゃったって。
でしょでしょ。学園で鍋ってところが飛び抜けてるでしょ。
うんうん、見直した。というわけでサチ、鍋セットの用意は任せたわよ。
はい、わかりました。
ってさすがに鍋は無理よね。ってあれ？さっちゃん、どこ行ったんだろう。
鍋をやるために必要なものを集めに行ったんでしょ。
まさか。だって私もマキナも冗談で言ってただけなのよ。
いきなりやるって言ってもきっとできっこないし。
私の耳には「わかりました」ってうなずいたように聞こえたけど。
そう言われてみれば。
うなずいてたかも。最初は全員が半信半疑だった。でも授業に顔を出さず4時間目の授業終了と同時に戻ってきたサチはお待たせしました。可愛く鼻水を垂らしながら土鍋セットと食材を抱えていたのよ。
でもあの時食べたお鍋はすっごく美味しかったのよさ。
そう？マキナがお菓子入れたりするから最後はゲテモノ鍋になってた気がするけど。ってこらー、私が熱を入れて語ってるんだからスルーしないでよ。
Incidentally, if I said I wanted nabe right now, would you be able to prepare things like you did before?
はい、できますけど。
With a small nod, Sachi moves her gaze to the locker behind us. I see. Seems like you really might be more versatile than a Swiss Army knife.
だからあんたもうかつなこと言うのをやめなさいよ。サチには冗談が通じないんだから。
Yeah. Alright, Sachi. Let's change things up this time. Get together the ingredients for flowing somen noodles.
はい、わかりました。
An instantaneous response, even here.
ってあんた、人が注意してあげてるそばから何やってるのよ。ほら、もうサチが出て行っちゃったじゃない。
食材だから今度はスーパーかしら。
もしくは寮のキッチンね。
Not a problem. I really do want to try this.
じゃあ、なんで流しそうめん？
You said it yourself earlier, didn't you? It's hot today, so I thought a cool meal would be best.
何よ。私のことを気にかけてくれたからって別にお礼なんて言わないんだからね。はあ。
Okay, this looks about right. With a careful check of the bamboo flume that makes up the small canal, I've confirmed that the water is flowing smoothly. Having explained the gist of things to the others, I spent the last 2 periods obtaining the necessary materials and putting together a simple angled bamboo gutter on the roof.
お腹減った。
A few minutes after lunch break begins, my classmates, excluding Sachi, emerge.
って何これ？
流しそうめんの流しでしょ。
そうじゃなくて、なんでそんなものが学園の屋上にあるのかってことよ。もしかしてユージくんが作ったの？
Yeah, there's a bamboo grove within walking distance in the direction of the mountain, so the materials weren't hard to come by.
まさか授業をサボって山で竹取りとはね。
This would be the first time I've skipped class, come to think of it.
まさかあんた今まで一度も授業をサボったことなかったの？
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
今時珍しいじゃない。
Also, I used Moso bamboo for this thing, but when you're looking to make more intricate goods like a hamper or strainer, the more flexible Madake bamboo is better suited to the job. If you can tell the difference between the two, it'll come in handy when you're trying to live off the mountains. Keep it in mind.
いや、普通女子学生が山ごもりとかする必要ないし。そうね。お待たせしました。
Sachi joins us, carrying a large tote bag on her shoulder.
サッチ、ナイスタイミングだね。
Looks like you were able to find what we needed.
はい、一通りの食材は用意できました。
Then let's start preparing for the meal.
ここが余っているようだから私はここにするわ。
とか言って本当は楽しみにしてるから一番上流なんでしょ？
はあ、流しましょうか。
それはやめておこう。ほら、カッターの葉食べたら喉切れちゃうかもしれないし。かマキボウ、私らは上流の2人が逃した面を根こそぎゲットするんえ。
了解ですぜ、姉子。
After I distribute a pair of chopsticks and a bowl of soup for the noodles to everyone, they take up their desired positions around the bamboo gutter. It seems like flowing somen is a rare experience for everyone, not just me.
それではサチ先生、第一投お願いします。はい。
In response to Michiru's yell, Sachi releases a few strands of somen noodles into the waterway.
それ、キャッチ。うまい。ほらほら、そんな顔しないで。まあ、ユミコも次頑張りなさいよ。
次は絶対。
ねえ、あまねえ、もしかしてここすっごく不利な位置なんじゃない？
大丈夫よ。たくさん流し始めたら必ずこぼれが出てくるんだから。
オープス。
というわけでサチ、次お願いね。では。言った。ふふーん、私だって。
Amane and Makina stir their empty soup bowls with hollow eyes. Because of the intense battle upstream, none of the noodles have reached their lower position. Alright, then we'll just do this. I set up another gutter that I prepared as a spare at a position below Michiru. Sachi, let's get some in this one as well.
わかりました。
直通電車で社長さん。
ありがとうユージくん。
No need to thank me. A long time ago, I had it beaten into me not to waste the things I make.
へえ。
I glanced to my side, where Sachi is silently floating somen noodles down the waterway. At this rate, you're not gonna get any, Sachi. Alright, I'll secure your share. Scooping noodles directly from the original container, I deposit them in Sachi's bowl.
ありがとうございます。
ずるいよ、サッチンだけ。
そういう手段があるなら、私もユージくんから直接食べさせてもらおうかしら。
A pair of observant hunters are on me in seconds. Hold it. If everyone starts taking noodles directly, it's not flowing somen.
ここが私の部屋だったら、ユージくんだけに女体流しそうめんやってあげてもよかったんだけど。
Sexy somen. Nice ring to it.
ちょっとあまね、あんた いきなり何口走ってるのよ。女の武器を使った買収ってやつ？
それなら私もやるのよさ。ラーメンって
ああ、もうなんなのよこの子たちは。
ほら小峰さん、手が止まってるわよ。
すみません。突然授業を休みたいというから何をするのかと思えば屋上で流しそうめんとはね。季節外れの転校生だけあって考えることが違うわね。
I've heard it takes about 3 days to get a cat to take to you. The girl named Irisu Makina got attached to me even faster than that. Yes, this is the same Makina who used to flee the instant she laid eyes on me. I have no idea what changed her mind, but lately, it's been quite the opposite, with her approaching me on sight.
今日も暑いね。
Yeah, true. Not that she's particularly talkative. After a small greeting, she tends to just tag along in silence. You want something?
別に。
Honestly speaking, getting followed around for no reason like this is a little annoying. That said, there's no reason for me to coldly shoo her away either. You don't need to go to afternoon class?
今日は私の選択してる授業もうないし。
I see.
うん。
In other words, she's probably just bored. The schedule at this school is divided between the core curriculum in the morning and optional courses in the afternoon. It's not rare for a few of my classmates to be lazing around by the vending machines after lunch. If you've got nothing to do, how about going back to the dorm and studying? Is what I'd like to say, but come to think of it, I'm also wandering around wasting my free fifth period. Guess I don't exactly have the right to lecture Makina. Want something to drink? I dig my hand around in my pockets, searching for small change.
お金持ってる。
Holding out her right palm toward me to declare it's fine, Makina takes something that looks like a green stuffed animal from her pocket. The vaguely frog-shaped thing seems to be a purse, as its red mouth opens wide with the snap of metal bearings. After taking out a few coins, Makina buys a juice box from one of the vending machines lined up in the passage, then returns to my side. Pulling the attached straw free with stubby, clumsy-looking fingers, Makina pierces it into the juice box and starts to slurp up the contents. Similarly, I drink quietly from my paper cup full of oolong tea.
も暑いね。
True. Now we're repeating ourselves. Probably evidence that we're both puzzled over how to get a conversation started. Who was it that told me that man has to break the ice in situations like this? Of course, I'm not confident I can pull that off if I tried. What do I talk about with a girl like Makina?
ね、お兄ちゃん、なんかお話をして。
Stories. Stories. It's a fairly standard request, but I'm not sure where to go with this. What sort of story?
暑いから、なんか涼しいお話。
A cool story. That's a bit tricky. When you're looking for a chilling tale, I think ghost stories are the standard choice. Fortunately, I'm not lacking in that department, a legacy of the time I spent at my old school. Alright then. This is something I heard from an upperclassman at my previous school. This is the story of an American soldier who found himself on a southern island in a night flooded with lukewarm rain. The soldier was making his way south through the darkened jungle amid the pelting downpour, following a native trail with 8 companions. Their objective was an enemy anti-aircraft position. The rain had been falling for 2 days straight, leaving the ground swampy as a paddy field. With the moon hidden by thick storm clouds, the soldiers couldn't even see the back of the comrade walking 2 or 3 meters ahead. The squad's nerves were already worn by the suggested darkness of the night jungle, but the relentless rain piercing through the tree canopy was slowly sapping their endurance as well. And on top of it all, the rough map they'd received from the scouts was vague to the point of uselessness, good for little but further fueling their anxiety. As the squad trudged on at a virtual crawl through the knee-deep mud, it was inevitable that their formation grew increasingly loose. So the American soldier, a sniper bringing up the rear of the column, was desperately struggling to avoid getting separated from the rest of his unit. Eventually, he heard a distinctive clacking from some distance in front of him, rising above the sound of the rain. He recognized the sound as the castanets the platoon leader carried as a means to communicate at night, or in poor visibility conditions where hand signals were impractical. The number of times he clacked indicated an order to halt on the spot. The man dropped to one knee in the muddy water, grasped his rifle to his breast, and removed the lens cap from his scope, shielding it from the rain. An enemy ambush? Lying flat on the spot, the man pressed his strong eye against the gun's sight. The back of the soldier in front of him came into view. No shots had been fired as of yet. Earlier reconnaissance had indicated there were barely any enemy troops or armed guerrillas in this area. If there were enemies here, the odds were that they would be scouts, and most likely a fairly small group. As the man rested his chin in the muddy water to watch the jungle ahead, he heard the first sounds of gunfire. The enemy wasn't even 30 meters away from his squad. They'd practically bumped into each other. 6 lines of fire from the enemy position, just as he thought. It seemed to be a small scouting group. Judging from the reckless way they opened fire blindly, they were probably poorly trained guerrillas who'd panicked after encountering their enemy under these unusual conditions. Removing his gaze from the scope, the man grasped his weapon and pulled back on the bolt handle, pushing a 7.62mm bullet into the exposed chamber. He quickly returned his dominant eye to the eye cup of his sight. The muzzle flashes visible through the scope burned white after images onto his pupil, fully dilated after his long walk in the darkness. He couldn't see the enemy. Aiming on intuition alone, he squeezed the trigger. A momentary explosion of light from his gun, and he heard an enemy's grunt from the bush, some 30 meters away. A hit. The man took his rifle in both hands and began to crawl on his elbows and knees in search of a new firing position. After moving about 10 meters to his left, he discovered a convenient foxhole that would serve his purpose nicely. When he swung his body down into the hole, he found it was half full of stagnant water, just as he had expected, but that fact barely registered in his mind. More importantly, from a position like this, he could snipe while hidden for a time. Sunk to the waist in the muddy water, he mechanically pulled back his rifle's bolt and squeezed the trigger, again, and again, and again. All of a sudden, he heard a voice from the next foxhole. Since when had it been occupied? Hey, give me a grenade! In response, the man took an M67 grenade from the belt slung around his waist and held it out, the safety pin still fixed in place. A white hand reached out from the nearby trench and received it. Thank you. The man was certain he heard those words. But no matter how long the man waited, his comrade didn't throw the grenade. Maybe the safety pin was bent somehow, and he couldn't get it loose. Hey, you okay? As the man was speaking those words, he started to move his head to look above the edge of his encampment. At that moment, the grenade exploded in the next foxhole. An explosion at point-blank range isn't something you hear. The overpowering waves of sound aren't recognized by your ears as noise. A mass of burning air struck the man like a wall, knocking the helmet off his head and thrusting his body backward into the muddy pool. His mouth, thrown open by the explosion, was instantly filled with filthy water. As the man desperately tried to spit it out, he realized his tongue had been knocked back into his throat. He couldn't breathe. Quickly thrusting his hands into his mouth, the man peeled his tongue free with his fingers and powerfully vomited out the water together with the breath that had gathered in his lungs. His throat was burning from inhaling the explosion's scorching wind, and he couldn't stop the tears that were pouring down his face. His head felt like it had taken a direct hit from a fastball made of concrete, and his ears were filled with a high-pitched ringing. Hey, you alright? Get it together! Curled up in the muddy water with his head in his hands, the man heard the voice of a comrade. At least, his eardrums hadn't shattered. He felt himself being dragged up out of the foxhole by both arms. We've got to move! Temporary withdrawal! Can you walk? It took all of the man's effort to nod his head. He couldn't see. His ears were barely functional, and his throat was on fire. He couldn't even speak. The man began to run his hands down the ground in panic. His comrade knew what he was looking for. The man felt his rifle pressed back into his hands. Reassured by the familiar feel of his weapon, the man slung it onto his shoulder. His hands still clutching the ground, he fled that place at a crawl. Had 30 minutes passed? When the man came to himself, the rain had, ironically enough, finally stopped. His vision had largely recovered. When he looked around, he saw his companions, all just as filthy with mud. Hey, Shorty! Are you still alive? The sniper was still scurrying along the ground when that voice called to him. It belonged to a black man who'd joined the army at the same time as him. They'd been in the same squad in their training days as well, and the black man was his closest friend in the platoon. His greeting was casual, as always. Give me a break. The man reshouldered his beloved rifle and told his friend about the hand grenade accident. That voice from the next foxhole, the grenade he handed over in response. Moments later, the explosion. The man angrily spat out the details of his brush with death through another's stupidity. The black man listened in silence. When the story was over, after a brief pause, he finally spoke. Huh? The hell are you talking about, Shorty? The black man said his story was impossible. Come to think of it, of course it was. The man was the unit's birdman, the rear guard, the end of the line. Usually the birdman marched 10 to 20 meters behind the squad. There's no way an ally would have been encamped only 2 or 3 meters from his position. Even considering his movements to change his firing position, he couldn't have met anyone until the unit broke into retreat. I mean, let's say you're right and some jackass dropped a grenade in his own foxhole. Okay. Who was that? When the man looked around his surroundings, all 8 of the squad's other members were accounted for. A few were lightly wounded, but clearly none of them had been on the receiving end of a grenade blast recently. So, who the hell did you give that grenade to? In response to his friend's words, a shiver ran down the man's spine. After rejoining the main force and completing his report, the man told his story to a grizzled veteran. The sergeant major had an explanation of sorts for him. That place is right around the site of an old battle where many Americans died. Among them were many wounded who'd been cruelly, slowly butchered by guerrillas with spears and bayonets, and some who had reached to the grenades on their waist and pulled out the pin rather than be tortured to death. So in the end, who had taken the man's grenade? Perhaps a lingering spirit, still clinging to the battlefield, even in death. Or so the story went. What do you think? Get a bit of a chill?
なんて話を聞かせてくれるのよさ。おしっこちびりそうなのよ。
Oh, sorry about that. Forget it.
無理。今夜一人でおトイレ行った時、絶対泣く。
My bad.
今度お話をする時は、もうちょっと楽しいお話にして。
Huh? Yeah, got it. Makina throws her empty juice box into a trash can and starts to patter away. As usual, she leaves as quickly as she arrives. But this time, after walking about 3 meters, Makina stops on the spot and turns back to me.
ね、お兄ちゃん。
What?
お兄ちゃんは死後の世界ってあると思う？
Life after death. Can't say for sure since I've never experienced it firsthand. If you believe in it, then maybe there is. In the army, there's a popular story about an afterlife exclusively for soldiers. It's a story you'll find in the armed forces of pretty much any country, in pretty much identical form. If you believe an afterlife is waiting for you, it will be. I'm sure it's something like that.
そっか。ありがとう。じゃあまた。
With those words, she runs off, this time without looking back. I don't think I said anything particularly interesting, but hearing words of thanks naturally lightens my mood anyway. Drinking up the remaining oolong tea with a gulp, I throw the empty cup in a trash bin and walk off toward our classroom for the 6th period class. Hey everyone, J Square John Jeremy here. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click on subscribe and the bell icon to ensure you're kept up to date on the channel. Until next time, so long and take care.